This can't possibly be where the season was going.
Yeah, come at me, bro!
Surprise, losers. Come on, Titania too? This isn't messy enough?
Get her!
Bruce?
Let go of my cousin, asshole.
It's not what you think. Is this necessary?
No. This is a mess. None of these storylines make any sense.
God damn. She-Hulk Attorney at Law premiered August 22nd, with 9 episodes created by Jessica Gao, or Jessica Gould? Sorry if I'm butchering that. She's the main lead head writer of the show. Why was the show not well received with the Marvel community? Was it the casting, story, plot, or was it the people hating the show because she's a woman? Let's dive into it. For starters, I think the casting for the show wasn't bad. Tatiana She-Hulk was a good casting. Her acting was pretty good. She did a good job with what she had. I liked some of her lines. I chuckled at some of the stuff that she said. Some of her fourth wall break was I also liked the return of Daredevil, Abomination, and some other few out there. But when we got to the actual plot and character development in the show, it's a whole different story. Her origin story is almost pretty much the same as with the blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce. It's almost a comedy. It is a comedy, Disney humor. Like, he's right behind me, isn't he? They were trying to go for like a sitcom type comedy, trying to be faithful to John Barney on his take of She-Hulk, a silly, quirky, fun type show. And that's what their goal was. Now, a lot of people are not going to be interested in that type of approach, and it seems they try to cater more to like for women and like the She-Hulk diehard fans, but it's fine. But I still believe like that's one of the reasons why it failed, like, and also the execution of it. If it's a comedy, remove all type of drama, suspense, like action, like have it more like the ending, have the ending be more like of that throughout the whole show, because if not, the ending was like pretty much so fucking random. Like, for starters, episode 1 was her gaining her powers. Yeah, I get it, it's an origin story. Like, you could have had that done in like the middle of the episode and have us get to know her a little bit more before she turned into the Hulk. And in episode 1, she's getting harassed at the bar. Which causes her to Hulk out, where she's great at controlling her anger, better than Bruce. And then she hulks out a little bit, and they have their little fight. After that, they forget each other, and she goes back to work. And then sometime later, she becomes She-Hulk in court, and then to stop some girl, and then that's basically the first episode. And the second episode, she says some funny lines, and we see fan favorite Abomination. But my boy is nerfed. They butchered him in the next episode. And that episode is basically his trial, and then in episode 3. And the first time she's attacked in this goofy ass fight, like or outside at night, like in a hallway or outside her house. I don't fucking remember. It's been a minute. And we get that infamous twerk scene with Megan Thee Stallion and She-Hulk. And then episodes 4, 5, 6, and 7, boring trials, dating life. Like, it's like the fourth wall break sometimes is like a hit or miss. I chuckled sometimes, and then sometimes I'm just like, get this shit out of here. I'd rather be eating my own vomit than watching this. And the main actress, like, she's likable, but she did what she could. And then in episode 8, we finally got the best episode where Daredevil's super hyped. And then he does that walk of shame after clapping cheeks. And in episode 9, it just made everything a lot worse. Like, what was that? The episode's literally called Whose Show Is This? We get these corny ass dudes, like, you wanted She-Hulk to kick their ass so badly. We get this random fight scene, this lazy ass writing ending, and then this weird cameo Hulk son thing. It was bad. And then I watched this with my partner, and then she rated it like a 6 out of 10, but she hated that ending. And she gave it like the Good Trouble, Dynasty type vibes. I don't know. I haven't seen those shows, so I wouldn't know. Now let's talk. The show should have not been a comedy. It didn't need a big fight scene. It didn't need to have all these cameos. It didn't have to be live action. If anything, why didn't they just make this a cartoon and go that route of comedy? Like, you could have done so much more, and you guys wouldn't have to spend like 25 million per episode. Why didn't they just make this a cartoon, or why didn't they just make this a movie instead of a 30-minute episodes? Her character still could have been a comedic relief type character, but give us something interesting, And if you didn't want to go get the comedic route, just make it dramatic. Like, make it seem more like intense, and like make us feel bad for the character, or like where she comes from. Instead, it's like, yeah, people catcall me and I learned how to control my anger. Like, bitch, say something. Fuck them. And then, like, just, that's where we could have gone. Like, okay, let's say this. Since it was the last show of Phase 4, I believe she's still supposed to be a wacky, funny, adventurous character, like, you know. And now since there's a ton of characters that are wacky and funny. The only reason this failed, her character wasn't really developed, and it's just random the whole movie, the whole show. I mean. And then the thing at the end of her show is like nobody wants to see that. Like nobody wants to really see this type of show. And what I think they could have just done is have her whole show just go into different shows on the Disney Plus app, like how they did at the end. That would have made it more entertaining, honestly. Accidentally breaking the app and creating her different storyline universe. Have her accidentally go into the Netflix Marvel universe, meeting the Defenders, and that's how she got to know fucking Daredevil. Let's say they couldn't include him. Have her accidentally go into like the Phase 2 or Phase 3 movies, and then have her own like little backstory side mission quest. You know, that would have been fucking interesting. And besides, it was getting into like the multiverse saga. You could have had her go on vacation and some of the movie plans. Have her go to Asgard. Have her go to fucking, you know, like these different planets, and her accidentally cross paths with some of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters. Have her, or you could have just had her as an attorney trying to defend Wanda or Bucky, you know, like Civil War type stuff. Have her, like, there's so much shit you can come up with that. All I'm saying is you could have done so much with her instead of this. Like, now the fans dislike her. I don't know if I ever even want to see her in any projects, because she could just make her own script at the end. Tell the writers, like, hey, write out the villain. Let me beat him. Like, have him that he doesn't have powers. Like, you know, like, and like if they did went a different route, like in the movies, or like if she went into like the movies, like they did at the end, have her like not really like knowing how to break the fourth wall and go into that type of stuff. Like, cause that would, let's say she doesn't know how to use her powers. She can only use that rarely. That would have been more entertaining. Cause now I just see like as her as like being a huge like plot armor character. Like it's not gonna go well if I ever see her like in Secret Wars or something else, because you could have just had her balanced out like Deadpool, you know. But I know sometimes it's comic accurate what she's doing, but the execution wasn't there. 25 million per episode, like come on. For them to recover from this, they needed a redeemer character by busting a Deadpool, honestly, killing the crew writers. Or nah, she's an attorney. Make it R-rated, like the either the next movie or the next TV episode, season 2. Make that like a mature audience only, like, you know. That would be more entertaining, because what we got was not it. Even though it can't be helped, some guys don't want to see a woman superhero movie or a chick flick. At least have a good story, you know, and fans would praise it and pay to watch it. Overall, hope they can give us a good She-Hulk movie. Eventually, maybe she'll appear in the Secret Wars, but I don't know, man. What were your dislikes? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Lates.